Hey everybody, can you hear me?
Yep, can you?
Okay, nice. I think we're still waiting on Romy from Abracadabra side, but we'll wait for a couple minutes just to let everyone come in.
Test, test. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me properly or I'm super laggy?
Yeah, no, I hear you perfect. Hey, how's it going?
That's great. How you doing? How you doing, Victor? All good, all good.
Good, good, awesome, cool. So yeah, let's jump right into it. We can kind of get started. Excited to kick this off. Sort of a AMA discussing between Abracadabra and MUX and sort of all the things that we've been doing so far. So maybe we can start off first with just some intros. Gene from MUX and Romy from Abracadabra. Maybe if you guys, for any of the listeners who are unaware of who we are, kind of give an overview. Maybe we can start with you, Gene.
Okay, great, cool. Hey everyone. This is Jean, and I am one of the core contributors of MUX Protocol. So as you may know, like MUX Protocol is like an aggregator of decentralized perpetual swaps that we have been live on 5 chains for like a little bit more than 1 year right now. And we have integrated with GMX V1, V2, and Gains. And also we have our MUX native pool, which can support like up to 100 times leverage, zero price impact, and zero counterparty trading risks. So I think it's been like a pretty wild journey for this year, starting I think around March, that we have like started to generate attractions and during the past like 1 year. So right now, like we're super excited that we have just received a grant from Arbitrum, and yeah, super excited to looking forward what happens with that.
Cool, Romy.
Cool. Hi, everybody. My name is Romy. I'm one of the DAO contributors at Abracadabra Money. I focus on BD management and stuff like that. I've been with Abra since basically the beginning, nearly 3 years ago now. And yeah, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Abra. We basically are a lending platform where users can use different kind of collaterals to mint our stablecoin USD denominated called MIM. We were one of the first protocols to ever deploy on Arbitrum. I think we went live 2-3 days after Arbitrum mainnet went live. And we also received that grant following the STIP. We've been heavily working on it. We've always been one of the protocols focusing more on the Arbitrum ecosystem and community. And we're pretty excited to put to use this grant received by the foundation in order to keep developing together with protocols like MUX and other Arbitrum ecosystem participants in order to make sure that we can contribute as much as we can to the growth of Arbitrum. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. And also thanks for all the listeners for coming in, listening in. I'll sort of just jump right into it in terms of understanding a little bit more about, the partnership between MUX and Abracadabra. What would that look like? What are things coming up in the pipeline? What are things that are being discussed? Would love to sort of touch on, what that might look like.
Sure. Gino, you want me to go ahead or?
You can go first, yeah, for sure.
Cool. So, as I said, Abracadabra has multiple parts in its ecosystem, right? So we have the stablecoin MIM, which is an over collateralized USD denominated stablecoin that can be used both to stable farm, to trade, and to store value, similar to other decentralized stablecoins. One of our main points is that we're fully on chain. All of our collateral is kept in smart contracts, and MIM is over collateralized by multiple factors when it comes to the collateral stacking it. I think when it comes to a possible collaboration between MUX and Abra, there's two parts that are very interesting. The first one is the ability to have MIM more integrated around the MUX ecosystem and the MUX LP token. And the second one, which is something that is very, very interesting, but much more challenging on a technical point of view, is the ability to implement the Abracadabra leverage engine on top of the MUX LP token. I don't know how familiar you guys are with our leverage engine, but because of the way our smart contracts are are built by our Solidity developers, we are basically able to offer leverage on LP tokens and any other kind of interest-bearing asset. And in the past, we've been working very closely with GMX to develop one of our core products, which is called Magic GLP. I don't know if anybody has heard of it, but Magic GLP has been the highest TVL, highest growth and lowest fee GLP token auto-compounder on Arbitrum. And we've been able to integrate it pretty smoothly into our leverage engine where users could use Magic GLP as collateral to maintain. And therefore leverage long the APY produced by GLP itself. I personally think it would be very, very interesting to explore more synergies around MUX LP. There are, as I said, some technical difficulties that we have to tackle, mostly given by the fact that MUX is a token that lives on blockchains, basically. One price aggregated between different blockchains, and that would basically requires a 15-minute cooldown when you join it. But if you manage to crack that, I think there's a lot of opportunities to be able to back MIM with MUX LP, and therefore bringing both more volumes to MUX, more TL to MUX, and others MIM and interest collected.
Cool. Yeah, maybe Jean, if you want to just elaborate more on that part. We can also give some context on MUX LP, auto compounding, what that means for the user experience on the trader side.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's definitely a great direction to move forward, because for our side, MUX LP is also one of the yield-bearing assets within the MUX ecosystem that we think is there are some more DeFi Lego composability opportunities to explore. So just give a quick idea of what MUX LP is. So it's a basket of assets that have different weighted. And for now, we have some mainstream and coins like BTC and Ethereum, and also some other assets in the pool, like stable coins, Avalanche, and ARB, etc. So MUX LP, the APR is basically generating from two parts. One part is coming from the protocol income, so it has a share of the protocol revenue, and another part is from the incentive, which is a MUX token. MUX token is basically the reward token in this ecosystem that it cannot be transferable, but it can be either vested into MCB, which is our native token, in a time period of 1 year, or the receivers of the MUX token can restake the MUX token into the protocol to get VE MUX to share more. So this is the basic setting of the MUX LP right now, and built on top of MUX LP, there are actually a couple different directions that we see super interesting in the ecosystem. One is auto compounding that Naomi has just mentioned. Where for auto compounding is actually for users to kind of simplify their process, so that whatever they get, the token that they get, the reward token that they get from the yield, so it can be automatically restake in the ecosystem to get more yield from the setting up. So which is a very simplified process for users that they can generate more high yield. And also another interesting setup that I have ever seen built on top of the MUX LP is actually the leverage LP, which means that the users can use some leverage to build to do the yield farming based on the LP setting up. So I think this directions are super good, because it's kind of or either they simplify the LP process, or they can generate more yield for LPs based on their risk appetites. So yeah, so I think this is actually also one of the MUX protocol priorities in the near future. So super excited to see some collaborations in the near future. Yeah, just give me one sec. I think Victor just dropped out just now. I need to. approve him as a speaker. Oops. I don't know why. Yeah. Whenever this is saying that like I have a problem. Oh, you're back. Great, great. Because I keep saying that there are some like errors here. Hey, Victor, are you back? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Hear me now? Hello, hello?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
apologies. Twitter decided to blow up on us.
I think Victor is like a listener again. I need to invite him to speak. Just give me one sec. Is this everyone just like broke up just now?
I don't know. I mean, my Twitter basically broke down entirely. So
Oh, got you.
I,
Yeah,
I heard you like
probably.
super robotic, and then
Oh, I
just
see.
couldn't hear anything more.
Hey,
Hey, Vic.
can you hear
Let's
me?
try to invite Victor again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
guys hear
there
me?
we go. Yeah, we're back. Go
Okay,
ahead.
nice. I have no idea what happened there. I think it might have been a Twitter glitch where we all sort of dropped off for a second. But yeah, so I think where we left off was discussing about the MUX
Leverage.
LP pool, leverage trading, integrating that with protocols like Abracadabra.
Correct.
And yeah, I guess like kind of transitioning that to the next topic. What are some things that users should look forward to for each protocol? So what are things that are being worked on that maybe users can look forward to? And maybe touch on a little bit of like how product decisions are made. Yeah, maybe we can start with Romy.
Yep, for sure. So as Abra, we have plenty of stuff in the plenty of new products in our roadmap. Obviously, considering the huge grant that we just received from the Arbitrum Foundation, the vast majority of our research and development will be focused in the next couple of months at least on Arbitrum focused products. So MUX LP is one of these examples, GM tokens, and our latest GMX V2 markets are another one of these examples. Camelot LPs is another one of those. Overall, I would say that as Abra, we're always looking for new and exciting collateral and stable, more important, new, exciting, and stable collateral to back MIM with. And our entirety, so the entirety of our Solidity team has been working extremely hard on a very big research and development effort to make sure that we can always like be on the cutting edge of what a stablecoin can be backed with. Magic GLP, as I said in the past, was only the first step in a bunch of perps decks, perps LPs, normal LPs, and similar interest-bearing tokens that could easily be listed as collateral on MIM. So part of our effort will be towards that research and development. A second part of our efforts will be more on the business development side to make sure that we can improve the way we're currently incentivizing MIM liquidity and we can grow MIM liquidity. Of course, as I'm sure you understand, having stablecoin liquidity in a world where RWA assets yield 6, 7, 8%, it's increasingly difficult because our peers will simply move their capital off chain. So as Abra, we're always looking for new and innovative way of trying to attract this new capital, and having products built on top of this new capital is going to be a fundamental part of our next few months. What else? We're also looking to expand into new ecosystems, probably after this big effort that we are starting on our Arbitrum right now. We're going to focus on new and prominent ecosystems that are launching now. Linea is a very good example. Scroll is a very good example. Base is a very good example. Chain is something that we're very much looking forward to look into and possibly deploy on. And basically, just the main idea is that we are trying to bring MIM to as many chains as possible to offer people on those chains the possibilities of using one of the most resilient decentralized stablecoins in DeFi. When the multi-chain situation went down and Phantom was completely, and the Phantom ecosystem was severely hit by basically unbacked stablecoins, MIM has been used as a kind of a lifeboat to get out of Phantom and get into Ethereum and other ecosystems. And we were looking forward to just bring this opportunity to more and more chains and ecosystems in the future.
Sweet. Gene, maybe touch on the MUX side a little bit on what are some things to look forward to as a user?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, one I think before I share that, I think like one biggest thing that like the priority is like in the coming a few months will be for sure the Arbitrum incentive that we have just got, and based on that, we are planning to use most of the incentives on the trading side. So the plan currently is that we will do the rebate for the trading fee, we'll basically rebate all the trading fee to zero, which means that like there is like basically no fees for the traders to trade on MUX. And another thing is that we're gonna rebate all not only of MUX native pool, but also all the protocols that have been routed to, including JMX V1, V2, and games. So like this is actually hoping to like get to onboard more users, especially from other ecosystem, because it's like we used to think like the fees are kind of a blocker, but like, well, let's see what will happen. And based on that, there are actually a couple of directions that we're gonna move forward. One thing is that we're gonna have an LP new trade liquidity setup in the near future that basically to fit the appetite of different risks. So that maybe there will be like two changes. Like one is with higher risk but higher use, and another one was like a lower risk and lower use. So basically, is to hoping that with the trading volume booming, that we can also onboard more LPs to kind of form the flywheel in the future. And the second part that we're going to move forward is about like we're going to have a new trading setup that can support like more markets here. So basically right now with the current IMRP setup, we're able to support mainstream coins pretty good. But for the other altcoins and other diversified markets, we're working on a new trading setup right now. Hopefully that we can list more diversified markets in the near future. And the last thing that we're going to move forward is more about that the general trading experiences, because I think MUX has been spent like tons of effort on optimizing the trading experiences in the past 1 year. We're going to still do that to make the user experience more seamless. So yeah, so this is basically the three things that we're super excited about in the next couple of months.
Awesome. So it sounds like very soon there will be no trading fees, or the trading fees will get reimbursed. So yeah, and more markets will be supported on MUX. So very cool. Yeah, I guess that kind of leads to the next question that was sort of already answered on the MUX side, but maybe on the Abracadabra side, would love to hear, with the whole STIP grant and sort of the success around that, how Abracadabra, thought of the entire process, and how rewards may be used moving forward.
That's a super good question, honestly. I was also very much looking forward to speak about the STP more in general with you guys, being that you're one of the largest delegates and partners that voted for us. So I'll start by saying that I would like to thank everybody who helped us reach this amazing goal. I'm pretty sure that when the STP was announced, not many people thought that Abra would have been able to get the amount of votes and the percentage of those votes in favor that we actually got. So big thank you to all the protocols, partners, and delegates that decided to trust us and entrust us basically with this 1.5 million Arbitrum grant. Secondly, I think the STP was an amazing trial run for whatever we will need in the next bull run to make sure that we keep Arbitrum competitive compared to all the other L1 and L2s that will have plenty of war chests to incentivize activity in the chain. I think there's a lot of things that can be improved, but also a big thank goes to all the people that organized the STIP and that took the matter in their own hands and basically decided to kickstart this incentivization effort. Overall, the whole system was pretty smooth. I would say, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I think the main issue was the fact that it was very difficult for protocols to get in touch with delegates. And whenever you did got in touch with delegates were so swamped by, I don't know, 110 protocols try to get a grant that it was very difficult to properly pitch them and show them exactly what we're doing, why we want the grant, and why the grant is well spent on each of our protocols. I don't know if you feel the same, but that was basically my main feedback. I think there's going to be plenty of ways to improve it in the future. One of the things would be to move the entire process directly on Tally rather than having it on Snapshot, so we can have bigger customization features and better, I don't know, voting strategies, I guess. That would also be interesting. But yeah, like overall, I would say that it was a great success. It was quite stressful, but thanks to protocol like MUX, Camel, GMX, and all of our partners, it was a great success on our side. So how do you guys feel about it? Did you feel the same way, or how do you approach it?
Yeah, I can definitely feel it when you're saying that, like, the community communication channel between, you know, the protocols and the delegates. Because Max is kind of actually one of the delegates. I still remember every morning when I wake up, I was kind of being approached by more than 10 protocols every single day during the process. Yeah, I think that part is definitely somewhere that we're gonna like improve in the next rounds. Maybe just create a communication channel officially so that like it can be more smoothly communicated during this process, because especially this is a pretty short window, right? It's only like 1 week. So yeah, so it's like pretty crazy during that 1 week. Other than that, I think like it's generally like a super excited initiative that especially with the recent volatility, it seems like, you know, like it's a great right timing to do the incentive. Like there's finally some volatile in the market right now. So yeah, so like I think generally speaking, it's we're super excited. And for Max, I think just like, yeah, so I think also it's a great opportunity for all the protocols kind of build up the connections during this process, especially for us, like we start to get approached and also connected with several like other protocols that and explore more synergies, building up collaborations by using this opportunity to connect. So I think it's like very bull for the Arbitrum ecosystem. Yeah.
Totally agree. So yeah, I guess I kind of forgot to say how we're gonna use the Arbitrum grant that we got, but basically we received a 1.5 million grant with Abra, and we decided to divide the way we use this grant into three main parts. One part is to grow the liquidity. The second part is to provide direct lending incentives to boost the usage of the products for Arbitrum native collaterals, and the third one is to subsidize the kickstart of the MIM savings rate natively on Arbitrum whenever this is slightly further away in the roadmap, like I would say 2 to 3 months. But yeah, that's the main idea, and yeah, I totally agree with you. I think in the future we can definitely do better. We can definitely organize communication channels in a better. I think the issue, as you said, was mostly about the timings, right? If the timeline would have been like 3 weeks, the issues would have been much less, and people would have been able to organize better. I also feel like we have a need of having some kind of cartel or associations of protocols where protocols like Abra, which has a lot of ARB, MUX, GMX, Camel, can all like come together and to vote together on proposals and basically lobby in favors of builders, which is something that I think it's much needed, considering that a lot of them are delegated to to delegates that maybe are not too familiar with DeFi or that are not too interested in DeFi, maybe they focus on gaming more or stuff like that. I think a cartel of protocol that can like put together at least the amount of Arbor needed to reach quorum and that can work together to vote for smaller projects or products that don't have enough the same opportunities that we have to get to big delegates. I think it's something that should be very interesting in the future, I would say.
Oh, is Victor? Victor is dropping out again.
Yeah,
Okay.
damn Twitter, I hate it.
Yeah, by the way, yeah, I'm totally agree with that. But an interesting sign is that I probably have seen like this is somewhere that we are moving forward right now. Like, for example, MUX is super active in the incentive working group, and we have seen like some protocols are kind of we are basically sharing that we're our ideas with each other to kind of to accumulate more information because there are just too many protocols and to share some like our insights and concerns whatever with each other. We're kind of already working like with each other. Yeah. I think we're on the like right direction right now. Yeah.
I mean, I have to say that Max was one of the biggest. Like you guys, despite having a lot of voting power, you really like took the time to assess each and every single proposals, and you've been extremely helpful in our decision making process as well. Whenever you were providing feedbacks on our proposals, so I honestly think that you were some of the protocols that did one of the best jobs, considering that your ARB were delegated to the protocol itself and not to a single delegate. I think it was really an outstanding job.
Oh, thank you for the kind word. We're like, yeah, as always, like we're super happy to help boost the Arbitrum ecosystem with every other protocol together. Yeah, hey Victor, you're back. Hello.
Maybe, maybe not.
Let me quickly chat.
I see him as a speaker, but I don't hear him. So
Yeah. No, on our side, Victor, I see you're a speaker already. Maybe you can just like rejoin.
I swear to God, the day they're gonna make me a podcast slash AMA app that works properly, I'm gonna be so happy. Every single time I use Twitter, it always wrecks somehow.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep,
Oh
finally.
my God. This is probably like the third time the
There we
dropouts
go.
happened.
Yeah.
Dude, this is so weird. The app, I swear, just glitches whenever you're trying to speak. But yeah, I'm glad we got it to work again. I have plenty of questions for both of you guys on the protocol specifically and sort of all, more recent updates and things like that. But I do want to be a little bit more cautious on time. So I'll ask maybe one or two more questions, pass it off to the audience. And if no one has any questions, I'll do a rapid fire on some of these questions. So maybe we'll start with the next one. Sort of, how do you guys think about security and safety of funds? We're both protocols are obviously in DeFi, and that's super super important. Given the number of hacks and sort of things that are breaking, and so just maybe touch on a little bit of like how important that is, and how what are some of the measures that are done. Obviously both protocols have withstood a long period of time in the public already, but yeah, I'll let you guys talk about it a little bit more. Maybe Gene, if you want to start off on the MUX side.
Yeah, for sure. So right now, like in the MUX native pool, we have like more than $40 million already. So yeah, it's not that huge, but still like we are still like taking care of we are still like having this this amount of the assets sitting in our smart contract. So generally, like besides the normal the behaviors, like normal actions based on the security side, like the audit that we have done, and we also have a live bounty with the emu fine. Besides that, we have kind of a lot of on-chain and off-chain super monitors that are kind of monitoring the abnormal activities going on right now. So these are like the things that I think is kind of like a routine things that we have already done. And another thing that I want to touch upon a little bit more is about the cross-chain stuff, because I think during the past couple of months, there are like a couple of like the hacks that all happens on the cross-chain stuff, which I mean, where like for MUX, we are live on 5 different chains. So this is something where we have been very cautious because we have been requested or we get a lot of like questions regarding, hey, is MUX going to have the cross-chain, the cross-chain aggregator stuff? But we are still very cautious because as you can see right now, our aggregator right now is only on Arbitrum, although like our MUX native pool is on 5 different chains. So especially for the aggregator side, that the cross chain is super, super risky, or I will not say like risky, but we have to be very cautious here because the cross chain bridge and stuff have like just like so many hacks during the past a period of time. So this is why we haven't moved forward yet with the aggregator to different chains. We are still doing some research right now, and I think when we are like feel more ready, and we are gonna like move forward someday. But for now, like that's what reason. Basically, one of the key reasons that we are holding back on the cross chain aggregator side right now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Cross-chain stuff is scary, and you want to make sure that you properly address all the risks before launching anything live. I'll kind of follow suit. Abra has always been extremely focused on making sure that our code is safe. We are happy to pride ourselves of never having any loss of funds from our users, nor any serious accident. In the past, we've been reported multiple vulnerabilities, and we've always been able to properly address them thanks to our bug reports programs and multiple audits that happen on our code base. I would like to add that I'm not the best person to speak about security because I'm not technical, and I would much rather give the microphone to our Solidity devs. But if there's one thing that I learned by working closely with them and it's basically security is an ongoing effort, right? You have to make sure that you're always on point, always up to date with any kind of update happening both to the chains or to your protocol, and you always have to make sure that you are easy to reachable to any white hacker that have found possible vulnerabilities. And every time you develop new products, you have to make sure that you are always living up to the highest standards in the industry. One thing that I can say, and that's kind of a little bit of an alpha, is that as of yesterday, some of our GM markets have started their first audit, which is something that we're very proud of, and a long due update. And but other than that, I would agree with you. Like being cautious is always a great idea. Before we managed to switch to our omnichain layer, omnichain solution, we took months to test and to properly have peer review it and audited by the most reputable companies in the space, I would say. So yeah, at Abra we value security very much, and we'd much rather be slower and safe than fast and unsafe. There's a motto I could use.
Awesome, cool. I'm gonna pass off the mic to some of the audience members if there are any questions. Otherwise, I have a fun section where I have a bunch of questions that I've prepared that I can do sort of a rapid fire with. But yeah, I guess I'll pass it off to the audience. Anyone who wants to ask a question, just feel free to raise your hand, and we'll sort of bring you up.
I probably saw Dow Chemist. He's raising his hand.
Cool. Yeah, maybe we can bring him up.
Hey guys, can you guys hear me?
Yes. We can hear you.
Thanks, man. Great panel. Love to hear those spaces from the builders. A question for MUX and maybe Abracadabra as well. But there's been like a lot of focus on account abstraction and making the UX easier for normies, and DGens don't care. But I think if we want mass adoption, there's been like more concerted effort towards UX. So that MUX is doing a lot in that direction. But maybe can you tell more about like the long term strategy and what the ideal experience would look like, let's say in 12 months from now, for someone that just want to trade derivatives, or just trade in general? Is it going to be similar to what we have right now with a bit more updates, or a completely different experience in UX?
Hey, yeah, it's great question. So I think, yeah, so you're mentioning like the account abstraction thing stuff right now. Actually, we have taken a little bit like, we have thought about that actually. I think for now, like the key consideration here from our side is like whether we take custody of the user's fund for it, even for a short period of time. I think that is the key consideration here, whether we're gonna move forward or not. Because for the user experience side, for sure, it's definitely something that will make it more seamless. But like as a DeFi protocol, I think whether we will like take custody of the customer's funds is something that we wanna have more thought before move forward. And regarding the the general trading experiences, I mean, in the next maybe 1 year, we have been always working on is to make the decentralized user experiences like as similar as possible with the centralized exchanges. I think that is something that we're gonna it's always a goal. It's been like the goal 2 years ago, and I think it's still like our goal in the next few months, 1 month. Sorry, 1 year. But I think one thing I'm pretty proud of is that like 2 years ago, the user experiences comparing to the perp DEX right now is totally different already. So we have seen not only MUX but also other protocols. We have like super great. I mean, the super seamless user experiences. It's already like because the user experiences has been one of the blockers for for onboarding users from centralized exchanges. But right now, I don't think there are still like room for sure to to improve, but it's not already the huge blocker right now. I think there are other blockers already. For example, like how to onboard like more users from the centralized exchanges, more about how to make them get more familiar with how to get a wallet first. It's more like on that, but it's not like the user experiences as a key blockers right now. So yeah, so we're super excited for the next 1 year with the booming of the infrastructure like the layer 2 ecosystem like Arbitrum, and also with more protocols we're working together, especially as an aggregator. We're expecting with growing with more protocols to provide more diversified markets and the better aggregated liquidity. Yeah.
Great, love this answer. And super quick question: since you guys are aggregating perps on different chains, do you see a design that you think is very interesting and different from what we've seen so far? We've seen GMX having a lot of success, but is there like another perp dex that you're excited for? Be it DYDX because they're building on Cosmos, or Thena that's using intent design. Like, is there a new trend that you're excited for in perp decks?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, in the past about like a couple of months, we have been approached by I think more than 10 protocols already that want to get integrated, including DYDX. We have been in connection with DYDX for a while because at that time we're waiting for DYDX to deploy on Cosmos, because it will be a little bit more easier, but still like it still like requires some depth effort from our side to integrate with DYDX. So I think it's more about like how how we allocate our dev effort right now. But I think if we have like more bandwidth with the dev, I think definitely DYDX is like one will be like on a roadmap. Another protocols that like we are super excited. We are also like in talk with is the synthetics. Because synthetics currently is mainly on the optimistic ecosystem, where we're also like happy and excited to explore more. So synthetics is also like on the roadmap. It's just like we have to allocate like how to prioritize the stuff. So if we have more bandwidth with the dev, I think this integration is definitely something that we're super excited to see. I think back to you, Victor. Oh, it's dropping again. Oh my god.
Did you get wrecked again?
Yeah. What happened? Like,
As soon as you start talking about UI UX, people get wrecked. I'm telling you. Hard stopping in DeFi.
Vivek?
Is he?
Okay, I think
Yeah.
I figured out the problem, but I need to figure out the solution later. It's related to the VPN I'm using. But yeah, we'll figure that out. I'm in an area where a VPN is actually required to access Twitter, unfortunately. So
Get out of that area as fast as you can.
yeah, I'll be out of there in a week. Don't worry, I'm just coming in visiting.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, I think we touched on UI UX. Anyone else have any other questions? Yeah, feel free to request. Otherwise, I'll do a quick kind of rapid fire question, and then we can wrap up. Jean, do you see any on your side?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope for that.
Yeah, I'll just kind of kick off with a
We're
couple
good?
questions. So a couple last questions. On the Abracadabra side, so Romy, I'm curious, what are some of the most popular pools today? And you can answer these pretty quickly. I'll sort of just get through some of them.
When you say pools, you mean in terms of collateral usage and stuff like that?
If you're a user trying to earn yield in DeFi, yeah, I guess like what are some of the most popular pools? And it can be an Abracadabra pool. It can be
meme3 pool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go straight to that, I guess.
Okay.
There are multiple. Well, it depends, right? There are different kind of farmers. There's stable farmers and there's volatile farmers. I think they're very, very different user bases, if I have to say the truth. And what we have been extremely good in profiling and get to know our stable farmers. And I would say that right now, if you're stable farming, there's very few opportunities for you to take care of. Like, you can either do Stargate USDT, so farm STG tokens on Stargate farms. You can likely look for some more traditional pool, like a main 3 pool. But if you go on Convex and you are looking for the highest yield compared to the TVL, one of the main pool that you're going to see is the main 3 pool. And I would say that right now it's sitting at around 9 to 10%, and it's pretty good. The only thing is that, as I said in the beginning, it's becoming increasingly difficult to try to go against RWA assets, which have a much lower risk and a return that is now comparable. So definitely something that I would recommend is to give a look at our Mint pool, and then both on mainnet, on Arbitrum, and also on Kava now, where we have a meme USDT pool on Curve on Kava, which is quite interesting in terms of rewards.
Cool. And soon, MUX as well, right? MUX LP.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then I'm curious, how does the spell token accrue value today? So why is there value in the token?
So there's two main parts, right? The first part is that spell tokens is the main governance power of the entirety of the Abracadabra ecosystem. Spell holders vote on what new collaterals are getting listed on Abra, how much meme are issued against each of the collaterals, and how the treasury behaves. So how the ARB tokens in the treasury are used to vote, all this kind of stuff, This is the first part, and the part that I think it gives the most value to the token itself. The second part is the fact that Spell receives part of the revenue share model of Abracadabra. When users borrow MIM, they pay an interest, and part of this interest is given to the treasury to make sure that operational expenses are covered, and our developers can keep the lights on, pay our developers, and keep developing. And another part of this interest and liquidation fee and borrow fee collected is given to our stakers. You can stake Spell currently in two ways, with S Spell or M Spell. S Spell basically is the usual X sushi design where I think it's 3 times a week, buybacks happen and new Spell are deposited in the staking contracts, increasing the ratio between Spell and S Spell. The second and most interesting part is actually M Spell. M Spell is our stable farming solution where users can stake their Spell tokens and be paid directly in MIM. So 3 times a week, all the different interests collected by all of our markets are then collected and distributed to M Spell stakers. So you stake Spell and you get MIM payments 3 times a week in a stable coin, ultra stable and quite battle tested. It's been out for more than a year. And right now the yields are pretty low as we're going through a contraction phase where we are listing new collateral and making sure we can evolve our market cap accordingly. But until 6 months ago, we were looking at around 15, 16, 20% yield in good weeks, coming only solely from real yield and no emissions. So these are 2 ways why Spell accrues value.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll kind of shift gears back to MUX. I'm curious. There's the whole perp space has really taken off, and there's been a lot of trading platforms that have popped up. Why should a user trade on MUX? And then maybe how it compares against other platforms.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think there are basically like a couple of features that make MUX kind of differentiate from others. And the first one is aggregated liquidity. And yeah, as I mentioned, we are aggregated with the top players in the space. Like so actually the aggregated liquidity leads to like the optimal cost for the traders, which I think that's something that they care most. So aggregated liquidity is definitely one of the top reasons that you wanna like trade on MUX. And the second thing is about the leverage booster, that we actually have a leverage booster right now for GMX V1 that we can boost the leverage to 100 times. If you are like a super legend, you are gonna love this feature. And also we are right now working on the GMX V2 leverage booster as well. So yeah, it's like it's like something that I think the degen traders will pretty like it. And the third thing is the diversified markets. Again, as an aggregator, we are integrating with like a couple of other protocols. So you can actually trade the forex market with MUX because we have integrated with gains. So it's like just like more different markets that you can choose from. And the last thing I want to say is user experiences, which is the most positive feedback that we have been receiving from the community, because we spend like tons of effort on that. So yeah, so I guess like this is combined together. It's kind of make MUX differentiate us from the other protocols and aggregators, and we're still like working on that to make to have like a more long-term sustainable development in the future. Yeah.
Another reason I think was also maybe just to add on that also is the liquidation pricing as well, right? Like any price that sort of gets routed to GMX on top of a leverage boost, there's also you would basically it's harder to get liquidated on MUX over GMX.
Right. Yeah. So like that's like we have a difference like the maintenance margin setting based on the leverage boosting feature. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I think those are all the questions that I sort of prepared. maybe if anyone else has
That's great.
any other questions, feel free to raise your hand. We'll kind of wait maybe for a few more seconds, and if no other questions, we can wrap up here. Gene,
Sounds amazing.
Gene, do you see anything?
Give me one sec. Nope.
Okay, fantastic, cool. Thank you everyone for coming out.
Thanks.
Thank you, Romy, from
Thanks a lot.
Abracadabra, and
Thank you
Gene
guys.
from MUX. Awesome, it was great chatting with you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks.
Looking
Thank
forward.
you,
Take care,
everyone.
boys.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao.